Hey, church family. It's December 30th of 2020, and I thought it would be appropriate if we took a moment to kind of look in the rearview mirror back at some of the stuff that's happened in 2020 and kind of look through the windshield forward at what's coming in 2021. To say the least, as we're all aware, 2020 has been a year full of all different kinds of challenges. But there's been some really important things just outside of the COVID pandemic that have taken place too, and I just want to mention a few of those. One major one, I believe, is the leadership transition that occurred during 2020. Early in the year, our brother Mark Young resigned as an elder because of his concerns for Sherry and her health as she was undergoing chemo and treatment for her cancer. And then in June, our dear brothers Bud O'Perry and Jerry Walker, after having served for decades as elders of the church here, also resigned. We, in the meantime, had added in the spring 3 new men to the eldership, Larry Moore and David Perry and Jerry David Walker, who joined with Chris Wilson and Terry Hackworth and Jim Huggins to form the leadership team we now have, the 6 elders. I feel really good about our leadership going into 2021. We miss the good men who resigned in 2020. They were great fellows who did a wonderful job of shepherding this flock, and we are certainly in their debt. But as I've watched these 6 men over the last months dealing with all kinds of challenges, I've been impressed by their prayerfulness, by their love for the Lord, by their love for this church, by the seriousness with which they take the responsibility that they have chosen to assume. And I have great confidence that we have some great leadership, and I'm so thankful for that as we go into this new year with, I'm sure, the new rewards and challenges that are going to go with that. Because this year has meant that for the last 9 or 10 months, this building hasn't seen near the physical usage that it has through the years. Felt like it was a good time to kind of update and upgrade the facility. Carol and I have now lived in our house here in Fort Gibson for 15 years, and in the last year or so we've done quite a bit of painting inside and out, recarpet and that kind of thing, flooring. It happens when you live in a home over a period of time. And I think the same thing happens with our family house here. It's showing wear and tear from 16 years of being inhabited by a pretty good sized family. And so, as you're aware, we have replaced the carpet in the foyer, the tile at the foyer entrances. The foyer's been painted. In fact, all the hallways and classrooms and bathrooms, for the most part, have received a fresh coat of paint. Several of the classrooms have been completely redone. And today, as a matter of fact, in the fellowship hall, we have a crew in there who are finishing up putting down all new tile in the fellowship hall, which I think is really going to be a blessing in years to come when it comes to hosting the special events, the different potlucks that we have, and classes and weddings and receptions and things of that nature that take place in that room. I think that's going to be a real blessing, having tile in there, very attractive. Also, outside, we now have French drains draining water off our parking area on the south side. That's been something that's needed to be done for a long time. And also, we've replaced heating and cooling units that needed to be replaced. And so there's been a number of physical upgrades and just upkeep that has been done to the church building this year that I think will will be appreciated as, hopefully, Lord willing, in the next few months we're able to get back into the building and utilize it as we once did. This has been a year of some real challenges, not just here, but in particular, I think, in overseas where people aren't blessed with the kind of resources that we have here. The pandemic has hit us hard, no question about that. But I am so thankful for the fact that we have medical facilities here and the ability to provide care for people that so many folks in this world do not have. We have food resources and so on that so many people don't have. And your response in the last 3 or 4 months to needs that have arisen has, honestly, it's just been wonderful. We took up a contribution for Orphans Lifeline International, and we were able to send them over $20,000. It was brought to your attention that there's just a crisis down in Honduras between the COVID pandemic there and 2 hurricanes that hit successively. That country has just been devastated, and those folks don't have the physical resources that we do. Many of them are just so poor, and they were in desperate need of help. Through your generosity, we were able to send them earlier this year, in fact, just a few months ago, $10,000, and then in the special contribution that was taken up just recently, $25,000 was sent down there, which means that in the last few months, we have sent $55,000 to care for those in need, whose lives have been devastated by COVID and by the floods, and also to care for, as we've talked about, orphans that are genuinely orphaned, children who, without our aid, without our help, might well die. And so we face some real difficulties and real challenges here, but I believe that you've responded in a wonderful way to opportunities that are presented to share the blessings that you have. Speaking of COVID, independently, Barrett and I sat down this morning and went through the membership list, just writing down folks that we were aware of in the congregation here. We're talking about members and spouses and children who have tested positive for COVID. In comparing notes, we came up with at least 44 of our people right here who, over the last 9 months, have tested positive for the COVID virus. And so far, we've been so blessed that they've all recovered. But, that's something to really think about. I mean, that's basically about 15% of what our attendance would be on Sunday morning, who have already had the virus. And of course, we are by no means through this pandemic, but I think it gives you some idea of the kind of impact that this disease is having. As far as worship time and study time together, for the foreseeable future, right now, our plan is to continue pretty much doing what we're doing. Gathering on Sunday mornings, wearing our mask, social distancing, having Bible classes for about 20 minutes immediately following our worship, and unfortunately having to dispense with the cadet groups that so many of us enjoy so much, but for now, just for health reasons, safety reasons, just really aren't practical to try to hold. I would encourage you to take advantage of the lessons that we have posted on YouTube. Our worship services are live streamed, of course, but they're also available on YouTube to be viewed through the week. Steve's class for Wednesday night is also available on YouTube to be viewed, and so we would certainly encourage you to utilize that tool. It has given us an opportunity to share with folks that otherwise probably we wouldn't have an opportunity to share with. In fact, if you follow the numbers that YouTube laid down for people per view watching, our worship services and classes and so on, we've had some Sunday mornings where we've had about 1,000 people who have viewed our worship services. And so we're having an opportunity to share with folks from multiple states and multiple countries. We continue to get periodically text and emails and letters from folks who are expressing their appreciation for being able to worship with us. And we're glad that we are able to facilitate that and do that and continue to be blessed because of the technology and the opportunities that we have through that technology to continue to worship together. Even though we're apart, we can still be together on a Sunday morning and also worship with those in various parts of this country and the world. As we look forward to 2021, I would just encourage you to, when Carol and Flo and I gather around the table to eat a meal and pray, we pray together. A core part of every prayer that we pray is, Father, please protect our family, protect our children, our grandchildren, great-grandchildren from evil and from the virus. And I would encourage you to continue to petition the Father that He will protect us and bless us and watch over us, because in so many ways, despite all the problems and challenges and trials that we've had, and boy, this family's had them, we still have been incredibly blessed by a wonderful, loving God. And I believe 2021 will be no different in that sense. Our God's going to be with us. He's going to bless us. He's going to strengthen us. He's going to open doors for us. I don't know when we're going to be able to get back into the prisons, but I hope that relatively soon into 2021, doors may be open for us to go back out to Just Done and Eddie Warrior and minister to those folks out there. So many of you are involved in that. It's a wonderful work. God only knows what kind of doors are going to be opened when it comes to mission efforts and other efforts. It's just been amazing over the last few years to see how many doors have been opened in that way and opportunities that have been presented. And so I look forward to 2021 and to our being able to be together and serve God as the family of God here in Fort Gibson. I just want to close with a blessing that I think is just absolutely beautiful. It's one that Moses shared with the people of Israel clear back in the book of Numbers chapter 6. In 2021, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you peace. God bless. Love you.